What is up, guys? A very good morning and welcome back to another daily market outlook. My name is Fabio and we are kicking it off with the dollar index. So the dollar index pushed further in towards the downside and it grabbed pretty much liquidity which was resting beneath these lows and especially underneath this area of demand. So what I'm now looking for is pretty much a push back in towards the highs, and if we just view and zoom out on the dollar a little bit more, you can clearly see that we kind of have formed this overall consolidative range since the beginning of January. We then established a high over here and we came all the way back down in towards this gap over here and this low. We filled it and then we reversed aggressively in towards the upside. Now since then we have taken out the high which was formed on the 14th of February, and after that we reversed back in towards the downside. So from here I do expect that the dollar will start choosing a certain direction. And what I'm pretty much looking for is to see how we react in towards today and the beginning of next week. Because what I'm interested to see is that, okay, obviously if we speak from a mechanical perspective, we do in fact have a break of structure over here. So it would make sense for the dollar now to push up higher in towards, for example, this area of supply. And then we would say, okay, the overall downtrend should then continue further in towards the downside. However, if I view this from a more logical perspective, then I would say, okay, it is still good for the dollar to continue up higher and establish a next higher high here on the 4-hour time frame. But keep in mind, overall, the daily has seen a fractal break of structure over here, and also the 4-hour has broken structure over here. So there are signs that the dollar index is ready to continue down lower. If it does, then this will be my next target. If we do move up higher, this will be my target of supply, and this will be my second target of supply. And then depending on how we react to those zones, we'll be looking for a short or a long. So that's it on the dollar index. Now going in towards euro dollar specifically, yesterday I was looking for that short, as we were in the extreme area of supply over here, and we pretty much grabbed the liquidity which was resting above these highs. However, what price decided to do was just continue slightly higher, grab the liquidity above this entire or above both of these two highs over here, and then reverse in towards the downside. So therefore I was a little bit or I got in a little bit at the wrong time. So it is what it is at the moment. Then what you can see on euro dollar is that you've seen a break in the overall structure over here. So euro dollar now does have the potential to move up higher once again. So let's see. I mean, there's not really a clear area of demand over here in my opinion. If we were to react to a demand zone, then it would have to be all the way down here. But then again, this might just be a liquidity grab, fueling the overall move further in towards the lower low. And obviously this overall pullback here is very minor, so we could also just maybe say, okay, this is your swing high over here, this is your swing low. For me, it kind of depends on what price is going to be doing today and in towards early next week. Let's say we do move up higher, then I'll just be happy to look for a short from this supply zone. Let's say we do move down lower, I'll only be waiting for a trade, potentially long once we reach this demand zone over here. But if we, let's say, see that the price just continues, then for me that's the confirmation, okay, this is my swing high and this is my swing low, and we'll just continue down lower in line with that overall daily trend, guys. Because remember, the daily is still bearish. This is the impulse down, this was the pullback, so ultimately we're still looking for that downside continuation. So that's it for euro dollar. Now moving on in towards Aussie dollar, so AUDUSD. And then looking specifically at the 4-hour time frame, we pushed up higher, back up in towards this area of supply over here. More specifically, I mentioned to check out this supply zone yesterday. Pretty much reacted to it again. We spiked through it, but we did react to it, and now we're reacting to this imbalance over here, which is providing us with some demand. So today, the overall decisional supply is this zone over here. If we break that, we can look for longs once again. If we react to that and we start breaking this, then I do expect us to move down lower in towards this demand zone over here. Very, very simple. So that's it for Aussie dollar. And moving on in towards pound dollar. So pound dollar at the moment did exactly pretty much what we wanted. I guess we can say that we grabbed liquidity above this high and liquidated pretty much all the stops above this trend line. So now moved back down in towards the downside. So for me personally, I'm not really interested in trading from this region. What I'll mainly be focusing on is to see, okay, is price now ready to, for example, push down lower in towards this demand zone over here. Obviously this is like a massive fair value gap which could cause price to push in some way, but for myself this is again very similar to Aussie dollar, kind of like the decisional area of supply. If we react to there and we seek bearish confirmation, continue down lower. If we break that, look for further upside once again. So again, very simple, pound dollar, then going in towards NZDUSD. NZDUSD was actually the most beautiful of them all and reacted in the best way. reacted to this area of supply, and from here we should now see further downside. Overall, I mean, this is kind of like your overall area of demand, so it should still continue down lower slightly, and that is pretty much that for NZDUSD. For the rest, not too much of an interesting level where we are currently situated, depending on how we move into towards today. And again, this is now your area of supply, and if we react to that, then we should continue down lower. If we break it, then we should continue up higher. So either we do this and we change the fractal structure, or what could happen is that we react and move down lower, and then we'll be looking to trade back down in towards this area of demand over here. Next and last of all is gold. So I've kind of changed my bias a little bit on gold. I think that there's going to be a massive all-time high incoming. Again, I think we're going to see much bigger pushes from gold in itself, mainly due to inflation and the ongoing economical situation in the United States. In my personal opinion, it makes a lot of sense that gold is going to increase heavily in price over the coming months/year. So I do not think that it is out of the question that we will hit around 2,500 very, very soon, purely based on fundamentals. I think this is just kind of the beginning of what is going on, and I will be looking to continue to position myself long within this market. So at the moment, we're inside obviously this area of demand. So what you could now do is go in towards the 15-minute time frame, and then what we can see here is that this now is a structural high. If we break that structural high, look for longs. If you want to be more aggressive, just trade on the fractal structure, and that is your fractal high, and then just go long after a break of that. So that's it for today, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Wish you all a fantastic trading day and a great weekend. Thanks, and see you soon.